Hey guys, this will be what if Deku was chosen by God. We skip to this starts in heaven where God is looking down from his throne basically and sees the world. And in this world, corrupt people are basically being enslaved. Not enslaved, but they're like think of the X-Men and the mutants, how they're being treated. How they're being treated in Marvel comics and stuff, like outcasts and stuff. So God basically says, I need a miracle to happen, and somebody and a boy will be born, and he will protect his people and their rights. For this world has become impure and corrupt with evil. A boy will be born to this woman I have found. Her name is Inko Midoriya, and she will conceive in her womb a boy who will go by the name Izuku Midoriya. He will become strong and powerful, and he will become great and mighty. He will have a power like a quirk, but far stronger. And he will be gifted with many strengths, but he will also have many weaknesses. So God basically says that Izuku will live to the Nazarite vow. Well, no, not the Nazarite vow. He basically said that Izuku will have powers that are so powerful that maybe not even All Might can challenge his powers. Well, not yet. All Might can probably beat up Izuku now with his powers, but when Izuku reaches his prime, All Might wouldn't stand a chance. So in the hospital, Inko gives birth to a boy named. Well, actually, no. We skip to God sending an archangel down to heaven. Down to earth to tell Inko of this news. This angel is Angel Gabriel, the archangel from the Bible that apparently told Mary about the birth of Jesus Christ. And so Gabriel basically goes down to earth and tells Inko that she will conceive a son and give birth to him, and he will be strong and powerful, and he will help his people survive in the world. So Inko is ecstatic, and so later she gives birth to a son, Izuku Midoriya, and he is born. We skip to 4 years later in the future. 4 years in the future, Izuku is around the age of 4. And so Izuku has been getting stronger lately, more muscular. A regular human hand Izuku basically goes to the first doctor, and the first doctor says, "Well, son, you have two or three, at least two or three quirks. The first quirk is super strength and superhuman durability and agility and power. The second quirk is the ability is that whenever you get damaged or injured, whenever you get fatally injured, your body will strengthen itself and regenerate itself so it'll be stronger than it was before, increasing your super strength. And your third quirk is that whenever you get into a blood rage, your body becomes stronger and more powerfuler. And so, basically, Izuku is gifted with all of these powers. Izuku is ecstatic at this. And so he is happy beyond comprehension. He basically says that God has given him a powerful quirk and that he could finally help his people, those who have been treated badly and disrespected. Because Izuku doesn't just want to help the quirk people. He wants to help the weak people and the poor and the quirk people. And so basically, Izuku begins to train underneath his father, who's actually a leader of a vigilante group, of a organization that specializes in spying and missions and all that type of stuff. So Izuku basically trains underneath his father, who's getting old in age. So his father's about to die soon in his life. And so we skip to 10 years into the future. Izuku is 14. And he is in school. When he walks in, everybody just looks at him. The only people that don't look at him is probably Bakugo and his minions, because in this timeline, Bakugo and Izuku are like brothers and like friends and stuff. And so class basically goes on for the rest of the day. Bakugo walks up to Izuku and says, "Does he want to hang out and stuff?" And so Izuku says, "No, he has too much homework. He has homework he has to do." And so when Izuku's walking out of class, he sees these two bullies. One has a quirk and one does not. These aren't Bakugo's goons, they're just bullies in general. One of them has a power that allows them to what's a good power? Well, he could basically just manipulate the hairs on someone's body, on his own body. He could use this to form like gigantic hand hairs and stuff. And so he basically tries to bully Izuku, but Izuku basically just powers through him. He basically just tears off the hairs on his body and just punches him square in the face, sending him flying through a wall. So Izuku is then later suspended from school due to this, but it was technically self-defense. So Hisashi basically fights for his son, so Izuku doesn't get suspended. And so Hisashi basically says that it's not right to send a quirked person to suspension. I mean, it's not right to suspend a quirked person, even though but it was self defense. So it's not right to suspend him. And so the principal basically says, okay, you're right. He's not going to get suspension. He can go back to school tomorrow. So Izuku's happy about this. But Inko is worried because she doesn't want her son to face all these dangers in the world. So what? So they decide to go on a camping trip. So when they go on a camping trip, they basically they they lie down in this tent and stuff. So Izuku wakes up in the middle of the night. He walks out into the forest to get some fresh air and stuff. So he hears something. He hears something coming from the woods. So he walks into the woods to observe. And so with Deku hit, and so a wolf, a gigantic, no, not a wolf, a gigantic bear with a quirk that is basically muscle augmentation, basically springs forth from the branches trying to bite Izuku's hand off. He ends up biting hands, causes him to scream in great pain and rage. So when Izuku's hands regenerates stronger than before, Izuku is basically in a blood rage, and he basically tears the bear's head off, and he hides the body. Now this is where Izuku goes back to bed after cleaning up, washing up his body and stuff. So he goes out to the woods again in the morning time, and he sees that the bear's body is basically almost decomposed. He sees that there's something inside of it. He pulls it out. It's a piece of a honeycomb. He basically licks some of the honey off of it, and he basically wraps the honey up and put it in his backpack for a later snack. He basically says something. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. And so, Izuku and his mom and his dad basically go back to the city, and Hisashi is doing his vigilante work and stuff. Izuku's going to school again and stuff until he goes to high school and stuff. And one day, he's walking down this path, and he sees, and the lid opens. He sees is a sludge villain trying to attack him, but Izuku isn't having that. He basically summons his strength again, and he basically punches the sludge villain so hard that it basically splatters all over the place. And so the sludge villain is basically taken care of by the police, and Izuku, they don't know that Izuku did because Izuku ran off before they could catch him. And Deku is just so strong that he could just... Well, actually, never mind. And so basically, Izuku is walking back home to his parents. We skip to God in his throne room saying, huh, he's doing well. He's learning his strengths, his weaknesses, and his powers. Gabriel, you've chosen we've chosen well for this, don't you think? And so Gabriel basically says, yes, Father, I think we have chosen well for this. I mean, he has basically, he does have a good heart, and Father. So, I think we've done well this time. It's been a while since someone has delivered your message onto Earth. The last person that did that, well, you know who that was. Yes, Gabriel. You don't have to remind me about Muhammad. He he was a good prophet and an amazing one too. I should start back communicating to the humans, to the mortals, and to sending to raise humans to spread my word, like giving them power to do so. Like this boy right here, Izuku. He is doing well. But soon his journey will truly begin. He will deliver his people from their current capture and unite the earth, and unite quirk people and quirkless people once again, so that they can be one people once more. Because either ways, they are all human. They are all my children. Just like you angels. I created you angels, and I created the human race. And then one angel walks in, and this angel is the Archangel Michael. So basically, Michael says, ah, Father, I mean, my King, my Lord, God, are you checking on Izuku? Yes, yes, Michael, I am. And he is doing well. Very well indeed. Oh, I see. That's great. I just wanted to check in because, you know, well, actually, mainly because I needed to ask you something. And what do you have to ask me? God asked Michael. Well, there's this villain on Earth who is very dangerous. I don't know what his. I'm trying to figure out his plans, and he's very dangerous. He's probably the most dangerous villain on Earth. And so far, there's only been one person that's been able to almost stop him, almost kill him. But now that person, well, that person is kind of weak now. But even though that person is still good, he's still not strong enough to defeat the villain. Yes, I know which villain you're talking about, Michael. All for one. He is evil incarnate. Wait, no, he is not evil incarnate. He is the second evilest person I have ever seen. Even eviler than most of the demons in hell. The only person that is more evil than him is Lucifer. And you're right about All Might too. He is good, but he is not strong enough, and he is no longer strong enough to defeat All for One. And so God basically looks down on Earth and sees and looks at Izuku's soul. But there's another Izuku. He might be the one to defeat All for One. Izuku, but he's not ready yet. God. I know, but he will be. One day he will be strong enough to defeat All for One and help save his people. You know what this is reminding me of, Michael? Let me guess. Samson and his people, the Israelites, when he killed the Philistines. Yes. This is basically a retelling of that story, isn't it? Kind of. Well, this is basically a retelling of Samson's life and story. You know, he even said the riddle that Samson was known for, right? Ah, yes. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. Yes. Yes, Michael. That is correct. So we need Izuku to become strong so that he can defeat All for One and lead his people to a brighter future. And so God and Michael continue talking and stuff. Michael eventually leaves to attend to his heavenly army and stuff. So that's how that went. So Gabriel is basically just like, you two always love to chat a lot, he said while chuckling. God just basically just chuckled and said, yup, Michael is one of my oldest creations. Remember that, Gabriel? Yeah, but so am I. Yes, that is true. But Michael is older. He has seen things, much more things than these humans have ever seen. Michael is heaven's greatest commander. He's like a one-man army. He basically says, and God basically says, Michael is the strongest angel in existence, because Lucifer was once the strongest angel, and when Lucifer rebelled against God, Michael was elevated to the position of the strongest angel. And so Lucifer was no longer the strongest angel, so he was defeated by Michael. So basically, Michael was the archangel that protected many people across the world. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for this video. Have a good day, guys. See y'all next time.